We are going to get her to a hospital, okay? We are going to do this.
They're still here. What if they come
You're
over
right.
here?
I know. You're right. Which means we gotta be ready for anything. We have to be ready to do anything. Hear me?
We don't have a car. I mean, the nearest house is 6 miles from here. How are we?
By land. 6 miles by land. Okay, we're gonna do this. You with me? We're going to do it.
First of all, Dennis, Wes, first I gotta take a second to thank you, Wes, for scaring the shit out of me all these years with all these great movies. I mean, it's been 15 years since Nightmare on Elm Street, and here we go. You revisiting this movie, Last House on the Left. First of all, how did you find this great director, and what started this process of redoing this picture?
Well, it started the process just with the simple fact that Sean Cunningham and I regained possession of it. Our contract way back then said, you know, way into the future you might have possession. Well, we did, and we actually lived long enough to do something with it. So we thought about a remake, and I think my feeling was that we had to elevate it. We had to, you know, get somebody with the experience and the artistic vision to make it so much better than something done by a guy with $90,000 budget making his first film and not knowing what he was doing. So we just looked at a lot of films and a lot of directors' work, and when we ran across Hardcore Dennis's film, it was like, oh my gosh, this is the person, because he has the ability and the willingness to go to the dark places, but do it as an artist that really respects both the cast and the characters and the audience. So this is a film that challenges you emotionally, but also intellectually, and just you know, from the core of you, either as a child or as a parent.
Dennis, you've done Hardcore, which is also controversial and dealt with teenagers and prostitution in Athens. Did that make it a little bit? Did you draw from that when you created some of the scenes in this movie? Because I know it's a gruesome assault scene that you know that's first time I've seen it on film. Did you draw from your movie making with Hardcore? Or is it just a dark imagination you have?
I think the common ground is that I love actors, and I love to develop the characters with them. And the result of that is that when the bad scenes happen, it's much more engaging and terrifying.
And Sarah, how did
phenomenal?
She was just
amazing.
great in this movie. How did y'all
I think
find?
I'm so proud of all the cast. I think the performances are what makes this movie elevated and great.
Just as movie makers, how do you know when an actress like Sarah can go from her traditional scenes that people know, the Disney movies, the lighthearted comedies, and be able to carry a character like Mary in this movie? What gives y'all that insight, you know, when looking at an actor to know that she could do that?
To me, it was sitting with her in a room for an hour in a non-audition context, you know, just talking to her and just sensing this intelligence and this intensity she has.
Okay. Now, the first movie, I know y'all set out to do a lot of stuff that hadn't been seen on film before. Now, this 37 years later, I know a lot of films have been made between now and then. Was it just as challenging, and were you able to get the results you wanted for getting something that's never been seen on film before with this movie, Last House on the Left?
Yeah, I think, you know, we didn't approach it from that angle. It was more, you know, the basic situation we turned over to Dennis, and the script didn't, I don't think, go for what else haven't they seen. I tell you what people have not seen very much in horror films. It's powerful performances, it's believable characters, it's depth, it's beautiful technique. It's those things that I think make Last House so stunning, as opposed to, oh, in this one we chopped somebody's head off with a Cuisinart, you know. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's much more about the story and about the characters.